All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Break. 52's the money. Check. 52's the money. It's our time. It's our time, guys. Get it.
On first down, Lincoln. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
When you enter the game as the AFC Player of the Week award winner, you expect runs like that and then some.
It was fun to watch him in the opener last week in Week 1. He was spectacular and open for more here in Week 2. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run on first down. Lincoln. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a give right side. It's Simpson, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's going to be a long run.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
You got it. You got it.
At the 32-yard line.
Here we go. 50 sack, 50 and read. Right here. Tie that left, tie that left. 3 down.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Motion, motion. Go, Jack, go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Throwing now is Brady. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. General West. Ready.
On 1st down, Lincoln. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On play action, now Brady. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
He's thrown at about the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Here we go, 50. Mike, X3, 218, chopper. Joker. Check.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go. 56. Here we go, Gary. Go. 56 to Mike. 56 is the mic.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Where'd it go? 56 the mic, boys. 56. Check. 56.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Sanders. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
What we got? Hey, Alpha. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Who that? Who that?
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Jackson. And this is incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He can run for it, and he will. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Check the backer, check the backer.
On the draw, here's Sanders. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson now. finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 16. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. This will be, 38 yards out. And his kick is good. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Now it's Jackson. It's caught by Sanders. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Well, a second down throw for the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far.
Mike, 53, Mike. Come on, boy.
Third and goal. Jackson got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. From 10 yards out, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. No surprise there, third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because...
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Going deep for Diggs. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But now it'll be third down.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball? Meaning a 50-50. The ball's in the air, defender's there, receiver's there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually...
And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And he's upended after a gain of 4, up to the 25-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Lincoln. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go, 18 Gator. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. Yep. You draw quarters. Mike's 50. It's coming this way.
On third down, Lincoln. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
He's crossing. He's checking crack. Check 31.
Jackson now off the bootleg, sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
56. Mike's 56. Hey, come on. 56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Lincoln. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead, fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. Coach into his headset, telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On first down, Lincoln. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lincoln. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6.
It's third down and 6.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Mike 50.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Now Brady. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a whole...
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
That's how we do it, baby.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. Throwing now is Jackson. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Here's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it a second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And that one? Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now.